Well, welcome to New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling from the Spiritual Awareness Center, located in beautiful downtown Madera. But today, I've got a returning guest. He was with me last year. He had his inaugural year, if you will, of the Lavender Convention in Fresno. And this year, we are celebrating the second annual Lavender Convention in Fresno. The organizer and my friend, Michael Young. Michael, welcome to the show. How you doing, friend?
Thanks for having me here. I've been looking forward to this. So much has happened over the past year. We had the inaugural event, and it continues to evolve and change, and we're probably going to get a small chance maybe to talk a little bit about that today.
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about that. Well, I'd like to start off a little bit with last year's convention. I had the opportunity not only to have you on the show and talk about it, but I was able to be there for part of it, and it looked like it was pretty much what we might call a rip-roaring success. It was good.
I think it was, and the Lavender Convention itself comes out of sort of, I call it a daydream because it actually was, but sort of a vision that popped up for me where LGBT folks would have an opportunity to connect in spirituality, something that has traditionally been denied us. So the event itself was exciting, it was positive, and the energy just really flowed in the event.
It was, and you had good participation from, the New Thought centers in the community. What other church centers involved themselves? You had it at the Universal Unitarian Church, but what other, besides the New Thought centers, did you have? You had a couple other churches involved.
Well, actually, we were working on actually two different things, an event and an initiative. And the initiative part is to become more inclusive. And we found natural homes in the more what people might consider progressive churches that are inclusive. So it involved Wesley Methodist Church. We've had huge support from the Congregational denomination. Matter of fact, this year they are actually sponsoring the Lavender Convention, the association.
Cool.
So it really is cool. And of course, New Thought churches or congregations were really a big part of what we were doing as well. This year we are also expanding. We're adding a Buddhist group from the Porterville area. We are having our invocation done by someone who comes from a Hindu background.
Great.
So we really are trying to live out the message that we're talking about, inclusion.
That's an important message. Now, and we've spoke before the show today, my belief in what New Thought teaches is concept of oneness, which once you embody this concept of oneness, inclusion really becomes kind of a secondary issue because there is nothing else. It's just everything is all part of the whole, the one. It's wonderful to see, Michael, in today's society that there's been a general shift within society towards that idea of inclusiveness, of, and we had the turn of last century, we had the women's movement, and in the 50s we had the civil rights movement, and then, we move forward into the end of the 20th century, the beginning of the 21st century, you begin to have the gay rights movement, and then it's moved from beyond that into the whole entire LGBT community, which sometimes people tend to want to, just bundle it up and, well, that's just a gay issue, But for an individual that is living that life experience, that's very segregating, if you will. It's a prejudice because, I am what I am, whatever that I am is.
Right.
So as you move forward, you created this idea, you pulled off this convention last year, and like I say, it was a success. It had such good energy to be there. The people that were there, the presenters that were there, the messages that were there, the churches that had booths and tables that were there. The whole thing, it was a community of harmony, if you will. And when I heard that you were coming back this year, I was really glad. And I hope to see this just continue to go on and unfold, because you've got so much to bring. In the Fresno, Madera, Central Valley area, it's an area that's rich in so many different things.
Absolutely.
And what you plant, the seeds you plant here, just like what farmers plant here, the seeds you plant here are going to grow and go way beyond this region. So tell us about what's going to happen, what's going to transpire this year.
Well, one of our committee members, organizing committee members, we've struggled with identifying clearly what the message is, and the description was that it's like a spiritual happening.
Okay.
And for us, those of us who are a little older, we know what a happening is.
Yeah.
But for the younger ones, I think it's something you have to come and experience.
Mm-hmm.
The Lavender Convention really is a very dynamic process, and I can't tell you precisely what it will be. I want to pick up, though, because I think it dovetails directly into the message I'm talking about when I talk to people, is the tribal sorts of things.
Yes.
I think those of us who, I'm a gay man,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad you brought up the LGBT stuff. I'm going to return to that in a moment. But I think society is shifting, and the consciousness of society is recognizing the tribe, whatever our society has been. It doesn't include us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the message I want to bring, is we want inclusion too. We want to be a part of the tribe, and we are a part of the tribe.
Well, beyond that, and we spoke a little bit before the show, my ultimate vision is the tribe is no more.
Right.
There's just, homogeny of oneness.
And that's what the ultimate tribe is
Yeah.
everyone.
It's the tribe of humanity.
Yes.
And that's powerful, it's spiritual, and it's just so right, Michael. And this is good. So now, okay, we've got the Lavender Convention. The community that is invited to be there this year is the greater Fresno, Madera, Central Valley community.
Yes.
If you're out there and you're watching this today, next Saturday, and it's going to be where?
At Wesley United Methodist.
And that's?
At 1343 Barstow, I believe, here in Fresno.
Okay. Show up. You're going to meet wonderful, normal people. It's what we are. We're all wonderful, normal people. Our normality is our individuality. It's not just, when we begin to realize that whether you're a straight man, a gay man, an African American, whether you're a woman or whatever, that we're all just the normal individualization of a divine expression. There really isn't any separateness, But you need, in today's world, that light to shine, to bring that recognition, because for so long there's been repression and prejudice, and people in the LGB, the gay community, have had to live undercover, so to speak. The phrase coming out of the closet or whatever. We've known those terms for a long time, Michael. And you're old enough to have lived through a lot of that in your life. And now you're here and you're watching, a whole shift in society.
It is truly exciting.
Yeah.
I think that the convention is, I like to use a Gandhi quote,
Okay.
and that is, we need to be the change we seek in others.
Yes.
And the convention is built upon a foundation of positive change.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot revisit all of our own wounds. We may need healing. We may need a lot of stuff. But the Lavender Convention is us joining together, straight, gay, transgender, in bringing our own light to the convention.
Exactly.
And that's what we do. That's the spiritual happening.
Let me tell you something. we're looking here, we've got these white LED lights that, are very bright, giving us the, what the camera needs and stuff. I'm old enough, and I grew up down in the Hollywood area, and I attended a lot of theater stuff down there. A lot of this has changed because of the new technology and lighting. But back in the day, if you will, the whitest light that they could get on the stage was not a white light. It was a blue light, it was a red light, and a yellow light all shine together in the same spot.
Really?
And it would create this intense white light, because white light is all the different, colors of the spectrum. And if you, still today, if you go to a theater and you look, if you have the opportunity to look up in the light bar, you'll see all these colored lights. You won't see, well, with LED technology, maybe you'll see more now, but you used to not see a lot of just the white lights. It was all the other lights. Shine down together, you get this great light. There's a metaphor in that for what's going on in humanity when we can realize that when we come together, when we bring all our colors, whatever that definition of color is, we create that one white light. And that is the light, the spiritual light, And being able to see today what you're doing here, being held in the public arena. There was things that used to happen. Okay, now you had areas like San Francisco and stuff where it was more out in the open, but come on, Fresno? How long have you been in Fresno, Michael?
I've been in Fresno in 2 different rounds. This round, I've been here, I think, 7 years now.
The first time you were here?
Back in the 80s.
How was
late
Fresno?
70s.
How was Fresno for a gay man?
Not a good place.
Not a good place, no.
Not a good place where you can be who you are and grow to be who. And I grew up in Arkansas, which I can tell you, actually Fresno is sort of a breath of fresh air. So I will tell you, I think I've been through the process. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got the signal. We're going to go to our first break. I am so glad to have Michael on the show today. We're going to talk more about the convention. He's got a great keynote speaker who I have a little bit of history with. We'll talk about, I believe Karen Scott is...
Karen Adele Scott,
Yep.
yes.
So we'll be back and we'll talk more about this.
This segment is brought to you by author Ralph Arbitel. See his latest book, Aces, in our bookstore at CentralValleyTalk.com.
We are conveniently located across from Bullard High School on North Palm Avenue in Fig Garden. Morales Wellness Dental offers quality-oriented family dental care and service in a personalized and comfortable manner. As you enter our office, you'll always be greeted by our warm, caring dental team and will be invited to relax in our finely appointed lobby. We have 7 patient treatment suites that feature monitors for your in-op entertainment and diagnostic review. Our comfortable hygienist suites are the ideal setting for regular cleanings and checkups. As safety is our utmost priority, all instruments are put through our modern sterilization center. Furthermore, our sedation suite offers you both comfort and peace of mind during advanced dental procedures. And for your privacy, we have 2 separate patient consultation offices. Take the worry out of your next dental visit by calling us today. Experience our commitment to excellence, respect, and honesty at Morales Wellness Dental.
The Simonian family has been farming in the valley for 3 generations. Cold weather, drought, or accidents made ag investments risky. In 1951, C.D. Simonian started his own insurance agency to protect valley farmers from the uncertainty of the unknown. For your agricultural insurance needs, call C.D. Simonian Insurance Agency at 559-834-5333 or visit us on the web at cdsimonianinsurance.com.
For Italian cuisine, you've grown up knowing that DeCicco's in Clovis has the best. Now, for grown-ups, DeCicco's Lounge at Clovis and 4th in downtown Clovis for your after-work relaxation and all of your special events needs. DeCicco's Clovis Lounge.
Are you currently shopping for solar? Give Solar Negotiators a call. You see, what they do is they fill downtime at a reduced rate to make sure that you always get the best deal. Don't find out later that you could have bought your solar for thousands of dollars less. Call Solar Negotiators.
If you're looking to go solar with confidence and have someone represent you in this transaction, give Solar Negotiators a call at 844-OWN-SOLAR or visit solarnegotiators.com.
You have sleep questions? Mattress Land Sleep Fit has real answers. Oh, I feel like people need a map to find their way around some mattress stores.
No, what people actually need is BedFit. It's a diagnostic system that maps your body for you. It measures your height, your weight, your distribution of weight. It actually measures your lumbar curve and how flexible that is, along with a little bit of pain questions, and we're going to find the right fit for you.
The right fit for me?
The right fit for you.
Shouldn't have bought that GPS.
Yeah, it was probably a bad move on your part.
Mattress Land Sleep Fit. The right bed, the right experience, the right price.
This segment brought to you by Art Douglas Plumbing Incorporated. For all of your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs, call 559-222-5306.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back to New Thought Talk. I'm the Reverend Steve Walling from the Spiritual Awareness Center located in Madera. My guest today is the event organizer, creator, Michael Young, and the event is the second annual, and Michael was at the first also, Lavender Convention. A convention that is presenting, addressing, and providing insight into the LGBT community.
Correct.
And how powerful is that?
It's turning out to be quite powerful.
Yeah. Now, I want to get into the actual event here in a bit, but Michael, in the LGBT community, I mean, obviously there must have been a level of excitement last year having the convention. What was the residual effect, if you will, through the year? Did you notice anything within the community? Did it draw people together more? Did it give them, connections, a forum, or anything like that?
Well, one of the outcomes to the Lavender Convention last year was that one of the ministers, actually Reverend Vicki Healy, who is the minister for Wesley, had talked on a panel about all the churches in gay pride coming together as a unit, having our individuality but functioning as a unit behind the Lavender Convention sign. And that's what we did. So I think there was a greater awareness of, and it continues, of our connection to each other. And I think that's just very important, because although there are, of course, differences in practice, etc., in churches, I think it reminded us that we're a part of a larger group that really shares a lot of values. So I think that was a very good thing. The residual effect, I think, is, I have seen it in talking to people. I find it much easier to approach and talk about the Lavender Convention and get an immediate connection with folks.
Well, they have a little experience.
And if they haven't gone to the convention, they've talked to somebody who did. So that sort of excitement spreads.
What about support this year after last year? Have you seen an upsurge in support throughout the general community?
Well, we were sponsored by 10 or 11 churches or congregations, New Thought congregations included. This year, we're probably going to hit about 16.
Cool.
And also, had I had more time for outreach, I think we would have had more than that. We're also diversifying. I made contacts with the Muslim community. I've been, as we talked about previously, involved with also a lot of non-Christian denominations or congregations. So I think it's really exciting as we find our common ground and our humanity.
That's great. That's great. So the registration is at 9:30 Saturday morning.
Right.
April 11th. That's Saturday, April 11th. I show up for registration. What's the day going to kind of unfold like? What's going to happen?
Well, the morning's going to begin at 10 o'clock. And what we've done is we've done a combination of actually some of the things that we did last year. But of course, the content's very different because the people are different.
Right.
So we open up to what I now can clearly identify in the process as the worship part of the convention. And coming from my background, I don't tend to think in those terms.
Right.
But I now have a much clearer idea of what that is. So it will be an ecumenical opening, as we did last year, but it should be richer and fuller and have more depth. We are going to use 5 traditions, faith traditions in the opening, which would include, of course, we're going to start with Native American, a very old earth-centered tradition. We have a wonderful minister that's going to return, and we're going to do asking for a blessing, which is the opening of the 4 directions. So that will start us off. We will be moving on to the sounding of the shofar in the Jewish tradition and
Right.
reading. We're going to also have represented a Buddhist tradition of meditation. So we're going to involve these different things, and we'll also have a Christian reading of Scripture. So this is how we open, and I think it worked. That was the magical part for me last year, because I did not know how it would be received. I had quite a different reception too. It's just like open me up, that this is old and connecting. And these are the traditions that are well known. We'll probably add more in the future, but we'll open in that way with music as well. So it really is the most wide open sort of worship thing I think you can do, is to all be together.
Right.
Honoring the old and being together in the new.
Celebrating our spirituality.
Absolutely.
In many different ways.
So the theme this year is connecting to our own personal spirituality.
Okay.
And we have invited then a keynote speaker would be the next person on the program, which is Karen Adele Scott.
Now, Karen, as I mentioned in the break, Karen has had a very interesting life transition from several years ago to where she's at today, and has become quite a dynamic individual in her new life expression.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing that's very interesting, I had not met Karen before. We started working on the process, and
Right.
we invited her in on the committee to talk about doing the keynote speech, which she graciously accepted. But it was interesting to talk with her in the sense of something that I think people don't associate with LGBT individuals is her faith helped her survive the transition as a trans woman and to move through her process, just like anybody else will connect with their spirituality. And so she's going to bring this very powerful message of how that worked for her.
All right. That's going to be a very interesting story.
It will be.
To be a part of and get it. And I will. It's my intent to be there to hear Karen as she speaks, because I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be good. You know, in the faith community, we have some faiths that are much more open to the whole concept of individuality throughout. You know, and I don't break that down beyond just individuality, but there's obviously we know that there are many what I call old thought faiths that they're kind of stuck in the mud, so to speak. You're beginning to see some shifts and some softenings around the edges, but there's a hard core there that truth be told, Michael, they'd just rather that you not be around. You know, as we have people like Karen that will come and share their faith-based experience, she's going to touch some people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Through touching people to other people to other people, and this is powerful stuff. This is more powerful than dynamite or C4, man. It's going to blow open minds for people, and this is great.
I really think that touches back to the origins of the Lavender Convention, was that silence and exclusion when I was going through trying to connect an interfaith through an experience through my own church, and found out they just don't want to talk about us.
Yeah.
Yet LGBT issues are to the forefront and have been for the for the past several years.
Yeah.
And then I was going to these churches And you never hear a word about it. I'm thinking, how can this be such a hot button issue and everybody's involved with it, and we get to church and nobody talks about it at all?
I know nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the big breakthrough, I think, on that, is that society is moving to where we're going to talk. And it opens us up to the spirituality. We're spiritual people. LGBT folks, a lot of us have suffered some damage as a result of faith communities.
Absolutely.
We're not going to focus on how that's damaged us and all those different things. I think people will have to come to terms, and certain faith groups will have to come to terms with what transpired.
Yeah.
Due to prejudice and things. But
Absolutely. And, the thing is, the past is the past. And there's, we can't go back and change not a bit of it. We don't need to live in it either. We recognize it, that we recognize the history. It might be our foundation, but it doesn't have to be our now. We can take the past, learn from it, and move on. And we can grow. And we can become more truly what we're supposed to be.
right.
And we're all spiritual beings. And when you break it down to spiritual being, there is no gender in a spiritual being. There's no preference, there's no biology, there's no physicalness. We are all spiritual beings, part of the greater spirit we call God. We're all, we say we're brothers and sisters, but we're more than that. We're part of this one. And for me, as I've spoken to you earlier, working with people to help them get past labeling, whether it's church labeling, organizational labeling, individual labeling, tribalism labeling, to the realization of truly what we are. Because when we get to that point, there's only peace, harmony, joy, and love in the world. And it doesn't mean wherever we are. It means everywhere at the same time. So we're going to pick this up as we come back. Man, we're halfway through the show. I can't believe it. So we'll see you in a bit.
This segment is brought to you by Jonathan Rooker of the Law Office of Nuttall and Coleman. We help good people during tough times. Call 441-0441.
Can't find a copier or printer that fits your needs? Are the costs for printing just too high? A+ Business Systems focuses on what you need. A+ Business Systems will reduce downtime with automated alerts via email, notifying us when your printer is low on supplies, all for low, affordable monthly costs. Have you ever had a desk looking like this? A+ Business Systems will set up paperless office electronic document management software where you store every important document. With A+, there's no worry about digging through archived documents. Our electronic filing system provides the speed and efficiency to search and retrieve documents to meet the demands of modern-day businesses. Learn more about A+ Business Systems, software, services, and more at apluscopiers.net or call us at 559-442-3564.
For Italian cuisine, you've grown up knowing that DiCicco's in Clovis has the best. Now, for grown-ups, DiCicco's Lounge at Clovis and 4th in downtown Clovis for your after-work relaxation and all of your special events needs. DiCicco's Clovis Lounge.
The Simonian family has been farming in the valley for 3 generations. Cold weather, drought, or accidents made ag investments risky. In 1951, C.D. Simonian started his own insurance agency to protect valley farmers from the uncertainty of the unknown. For your agricultural insurance needs, call C.D. Simonian Insurance Agency at 559-834-5333 or visit us on the web at cdsimonianinsurance.com.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
Are you currently shopping for solar? Give Solar Negotiators a call. You see, what they do is they fill downtime at a reduced rate to make sure that you always get the best deal. Don't find out later that you could have bought your solar for thousands of dollars less. Call Solar Negotiators.
If you're looking to go solar with confidence and have someone represent you in this transaction, give Solar Negotiators a call at 844-OWN-SOLAR or visit solarnegotiators.com.
For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back to New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling. My guest today is Michael Young. He is the originator and the host and the producer of the second annual Lavender Convention in Fresno. He also did it for the first, and we know that he's going to do it for many more in the future. Michael, as we come back, I want to finish up a little bit on the day's routine, but then we're going to talk about the transgender issue within your community and what's going on with that.
I would like to, yes.
Okay. So anyway, we've got Karen Scott is going to be a speaker, and then after Karen, is that about lunchtime is when she's going to be done?
Yes,
Okay.
she will conclude. The Bridge Choir is returning this year and will be providing music preceding lunch to kind of bring us back into a space of connecting with one another.
Right.
And then we're going to have lunch, which is provided as part of the convention. And then in the afternoon, we're returning to what we did last year, which was a series of educational workshops.
Good. What kind of workshops you got?
Well, we're going to have some meditation. We're going to have some, just a whole host of different things, including it will be a self-directed, I believe, primarily, but a labyrinth. We're bringing in some religious elements that are traditional that we haven't had before, like that. There's going to be, and I have a terrible time pronouncing this, but Tazai service will be. It is a service I've never attended, but that'll be held as a workshop. But we're going to do some meditation stuff. We've got great people coming in. There's going to be a couple of Buddhist workshops. There's just going to be a variety of different things that should be fantastic.
Buddhist workshop. Now, here in the Central Valley, a lot of people don't realize we have a fairly substantial Buddhist community here. Up in North Fork, we have a Sangha up there, and
I've heard of it.
And we've got several of them down here. The particular Sangha or group that is coming, where are they coming from?
They're coming from the Porterville area, and I have Arkansas pronunciations for everything, so I'm a disaster. So I don't even know if I want to attempt to identify, but it's a lay Buddhist organization or group. I look forward to learning more about them. I spoke to a person in Porterville, and she's the one that kind of came on board when I was doing some outreach. So
Good.
I look forward to some of the stuff we're going to be doing. So it's going to be a wide variety of things. It'll be a series of workshops. Also, Karen Adele Scott is going to be doing a question and answer after lunch, and that will be in the sanctuary.
Great.
So we're going to have a wide variety of, you're going to find something that you like. We're also doing an art sort of project where people will be able to put spiritual messages on leaves.
Yeah, tell me about that, because we discussed a little bit of it, but there's going to be like some kind of a tree type of thing. Give me the kind of the rundown on this.
Okay, well, in the sanctuary, there's going to be a large outline of a tree.
Okay.
Okay, and actually, this is where you're sort of going to come into the play too, because you will be doing our benediction at the end of the day.
Right.
So the art project per se will be done throughout the day, and people will be writing messages on paper leaves, and they will be attached to the tree. Also, some paint by number sort of figures, religious figures, will be done too. But the spiritual aspect of that, connecting to personal spirituality, of course, is the theme. So at the end of the day, we're going to accumulate all of these leaves, and I will be listening to your inspiring words that you will share with us about personal spirituality and the meaning of the convention the experience.
No stress, no pressure.
No, not a lot of pressure to this.
Oh, that's great.
That's the
Actually-
wonderful thing about being the coordinator. You get other people to do the hard stuff.
There you go. Listen, I want to thank you for the invitation to speak,
Absolutely.
and I have been looking forward to this. So this is going to be exciting, and the workshops that you're talking about are workshops that are what they sound. They're just directed towards individuals in their own spiritual growth. It's not necessarily someone that is part of the LGBT community,
Correct.
but anybody that you want to find out about some of the Buddhist practice. Or I know there's going to be several New Thought centers there, my own included. There will be some other stuff going on. So this is a great way for people that are interested in any kind of interfaith activity to come and enjoy and have the benefit of everything else that's going on at the same time.
Well, I know another New Thought minister that is a favorite of mine, Reverend Ana Lopez, will be doing crystal bowls and drumming, and the workshops really sort of focus on experiential sorts of things more so than just feeding the head and educating.
Well, in what I teach, I call what I teach a practicing and participating spirituality.
Yes.
You can't sit back in your easy chair, take it in on Sunday and go out. You got to work at it. So this is good. It's good stuff. Now, that's kind of the general focus of the convention, and I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be some good music there. But let's move on beyond the convention now. Let's talk about the community itself. That's really the focus, the genesis that gave birth to the need for the convention and the reality of the convention. The transgender community, which is just in the last couple of years really kind of risen up into the forefront of. I mean, people knew there was gays, there were gays, and there were lesbians, and that was it, right? There was nothing else. But that's not it. And so, with many kind of peeling back of the layers of the leaves of this beautiful flower of individuality, the world is beginning to discover that the shades of individualism may be infinite in their expression. But talk to me about what's going on within the community, Michael.
Well, one of the things the Lavender Convention is trying to do is it's very focused on spirituality and connection. And I think that really is the underlying message that we bring to the community, and it's evolving. It is happening and pulling me along with it. I'd like to think I'm leading the charge, but in reality, I'm kind of just following the charge. And I've had greater awareness too through the process.
Yeah.
My spirituality involves growth through process. I have a mental health background, and I'm very involved with process.
Right.
But process is a very spiritual thing, and we grow and we learn and we become more, and that has happened somewhat around, for me, how we in the LGBT community, the gay community in particular, has had its prejudices with the transgender community too.
Now, for the uneducated, explain that a little bit. Give us a little enlightenment, Michael.
Well, I'm growing in that too, and I have friends who are transgender. I've been involved with some of the transgender community events, so it's been a real growing process for me. When we are used to the idea, at least becoming more so with the idea of same-sex orientation, gender attraction. But that's, and you alluded to that earlier, that's how we tended to see things. You have straight people and then you have gay people. And in reality, there's just a whole lot of individuality and expression. And essentially for a transgender individual, they are in the wrong body. When they look at the mirror, and this starts in very early childhood, and there seems to be some verifying, continuing research into brain structure, is what they see is not who they are inside.
Exactly.
But we haven't wanted to hear that.
No.
And I think that even in the gay community, we haven't really paid too much attention to it. Typically in our community, because there is a growing awareness now, and I am delighted that we're having a chance to expand that notion in the convention. That's what we try to do. But we often say that the L and the G are big letters, and then our B and our T are small.
Oh. But we're working on enlargement.
We're
right?
working on getting it corrected. And I really think that the convention is stepping out in that direction. Another area that we will be probably focusing more in the future on is diversifying in ethnicity too, because that often is a problem too.
Very much so. It just will kind of take a tangent off that. Within various racial communities, the whole LGBT issue takes on a whole different dynamic. You know, acceptability, unacceptability, cultural history, prejudice, and all sorts of stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we are hoping that next year our outreach will end up having our convention be more reflective of the greater community and the greater world. It's one of the challenges that we have in a lot of these congregations is as much as we want things to be different, we end up being white,
Anglo, not necessarily Protestant.
but
yeah.
And we want to have a welcoming environment for everybody. And we have some responsibility in providing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to really work on that next year.
You know, we have to, and I say we, and I talk the general humanity, have to open our hearts and consciousness.
Absolutely.
You know, there are no outsiders. There are none. We tend to make people outsiders, but the minute that we do that, what we've done is we've defined ourselves as being outside of the wholeness of the creation, of the spiritual process, you know, because we hold ourselves apart. We got to get over that. We've got to get beyond our tribalism, if you will, recognizing the whole thing. And that's good. I'm glad to see that, you know, not only are you aware, but you're moving in a direction of expansiveness and inclusiveness into other areas. And see, here's the thing, Michael. You're going to expand and include and expand and include, and these other groups are going to expand and include. And one day, like little bubbles, you know, you watch bubbles and the separation in between pops, and a little bubble becomes a bigger bubble, and little ones, and one day there's only going to be one. And that's my belief. That's, you know, I rock and roll on that. I teach on it. I preach on it. I beat the hammer on it, man. We're gonna go to town. That's good stuff.
And that's when we will have peace.
That's it. And you can't have peace until you get there.
As long as you're separating people out.
That's it. And peace, you know, we say peace begins with me, but most of us look out to the world and demand that peace takes place out there.
Yes.
You know, and when you begin to, you know, here in the Central Valley, with your, you know, convention, your community, working in outreach, it's, you know, that's it. That's the unification process.
It's one person at a time. We've now done outreach to the ministers in Modesto, because our actual area we're focused on is Modesto to Bakersfield.
Great. That's good.
Yeah.
Man, we've blown through 3/4 of the show. We got our last segment coming up. So we'll visit with you when we come back.
This segment is brought to you by Mike Briggs Properties. The recession's over. It's now safe to sell your home. Call Mike Briggs Properties. For all of your real estate needs, call Mike Briggs Properties, 559-486-6758, or check us out at MikeBriggsProperties.com.
For Italian cuisine, you've grown up knowing that DeCicco's in Clovis has the best. Now, for grown-ups, DeCicco's Lounge at Clovis and 4th in downtown Clovis for your after-work relaxation and all of your special events needs. DeCicco's Clovis Lounge.
Are you currently shopping for solar? Give Solar Negotiators a call. You see, what they do is they fill downtime at a reduced rate to make sure that you always get the best deal. Don't find out later that you could have bought your solar for thousands of dollars less. Call Solar Negotiators.
If you're looking to go solar with confidence and have someone represent you in this transaction, give Solar Negotiators a call at 844-OWN-SOLAR or visit solarnegotiators.com.
Black MP makes up for nutrients lost to filtering, pasteurization, and processing, and it provides the probiotics and humic and fulvic minerals that can lead to optimized functioning of all the body's cells and systems, increased energy levels, and overall enhanced health and well-being. A scoop of Black MP in 16 ounces of water once or twice a day can help you achieve your health and performance goals. For more information, go to our website, blackmp.net, or call us at 559-799-9879.
You have sleep questions? Mattressland Sleep Fit has real answers. Oh, I feel like people need a map to find their way around some mattress stores.
No, what people actually need is BedFit. It's a diagnostic system that maps your body for you. It measures your height, your weight, your distribution of weight. It actually measures your lumbar curve and how flexible that is, along with a little bit of pain questions, and we're going to find the right fit for you.
The right fit for me?
The right fit for you.
Shouldn't have bought that GPS.
Yeah, it was probably a bad move on your part.
Mattressland Sleep Fit. The right bed, the right experience, the right price.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back to New Thought Talk. I'm the Reverend Steve Walling. My guest today is Michael Young from the LGBT community, and he is the organizer, producer, and all manifestations of all things for the Fresno Lavender Convention. Michael, this show we've blown through time.
We have.
And we've, like you said, we've covered a lot of stuff. Before we wrap it up, is there anything in particular that stands out that you'd like to make sure that we hit?
Well, I just would like to invite people, and I'm going to also invite people to go ahead and register.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we will hit capacity this time. So my concern is if people wait to the very last minute, there may not be enough
Is
space.
there a pre-registration?
There is pre-registration. It can be found on our website.
Website is down below on the banner, but tell people what it is.
It's so simple. It's www.thelavenderconvention.com.
It's a no-brainer. www.thelavenderconvention.com. Go there. You can pre-register there. You can get all sorts of information about the things that we spoke of today, and who's going to be the speaker. Is there a little bio on Karen?
Yes, there is. It's actually on that. We also have a pretty rich-looking Facebook page, and there's some stuff posted there. She's done some audio for us as a promo.
Now, the Facebook page is called, is it just the Lavender Convention?
It can be easily found through a search by doing Lavender Convention Fresno, and it will pop up.
Good. Well, that's good. Boy, you guys, last year, I don't think you were quite as strong in the social media world as you are this year. I think you're refining your stuff and getting your message out a little bit better.
It goes back to what I said earlier. I go find smart people. It doesn't come from me. Actually, it was a very weak program, but this year we've geared up. We have a committee member, Jason Doggett, that is putting together our web page, etc.
How Is the press giving you any support in this in the Fresno area at all?
You know, I did not approach the regular press, the Fresno Bee and others, because last year I did all of that and I got no response at all. So I try to focus my energy where I can. In the
Right.
future, yes, I want to come back to that. But I think we've had to produce a convention, and
Right.
maybe another one or two, so that
You've got some
People
substance,
catch
you've got
up.
some history, and
Well, one of the things I've noticed about the convention this year, and I can tell a lot by just going out and working on it, is that we have much more substance.
Yeah, you do.
And a clearer idea, but the idea is evolving out of the process. That's my spirituality. A lot of this stuff I never imagined to be doing or working on.
Yeah.
And it just happens. It happens in connecting with other people.
Yeah. And it's growing, and maybe in a couple years you'll see the Lavender Convention here being a draw for the, like you say, Modesto to Bakersfield, and maybe you'll see a sister convention on the East Coast, or the southern part of the state, or whatever. I wanted to ask you, and this is something that was just in the back of my mind. We have the Gay Pride Day here and parade and stuff in Fresno. Are those people associating with you at all in the Lavender Convention officially? I mean, maybe as individuals you might probably have people. I don't know. You are are the two thing? Are you talking to each other? Are you working together? Or is that kind of a progress thing that works?
When you look at society in general, and things we're aware of, and I think people are, is we're just a whole series of communities and stuff.
Right.
So I'm very connected with people in the community.
Right.
We have a strong connection to Central Gay Valley, which is a big service organization. A connection with the transgender group. We're connected around those sorts of things. For the parade itself, like I said, this was a new year. We were talking about that, where we marched as all of the congregations were in one group.
Cool.
And it is a sign of the change, the way that we view ourselves. So I think the connections are happening. And one of the things that I haven't stressed enough this year is that about a third to maybe half of the participants last year were our straight allies. And we will have a lot of straight allies present there. It is building the community we'd like to see, not trying to separate it out.
Exactly.
So I think the connection pieces are happening quite well. It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes interest. And anybody that wants to, in particular, reach me directly, please feel free to do it. That can be done email off of the website.
Go to the lavenderconvention.com.
And then you will see web links for all of the organizing committee members, and I am Michael Y.
Michael Y.
You just touch the link, and you're good to go.
Good to go. That's excellent. Michael, this has been great having you back here this year.
It's been great being here.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, my friend. And we're going to do this again in about 365. I just know it.
I hope so.
This will be good.
I think we will.
Thanks for being on the show.
You bet.
Okay, take care. All right. So, man, was this not a great show? I mean, I really enjoy Michael, and I enjoy what he's doing. I support this on so many levels, in so many ways, and to see this unfold, and this is just exciting. So, as we go to close, though, for those of you that are watching the show that aren't necessarily here in the Central Valley, you can still reach out and support the community here. That would be nice to hear from you, for them to see that we've got some support, nationally and internationally would be a good thing. If you're interested in this concept of New Thought, which we didn't really talk too much about it today because this I thought was something a little more important, but you can find out everything you need to know if you would like to online. You can go to www.newthoughtlibrary.com, and there you'll find just an incredible library of books, authors. These are the early pioneers in the New Thought movement. Their books that are online. There are books that are out of copyright, so they're there free for you to utilize. And actually, the organization is working on, as they upgrade and improve their stuff, where you'll be able to actually download those books to your own computer or whatever. If you get excited after reading some of those books and you want to find a New Thought Center near you, you can go to findacenter.com, and if you go there, they have listed there every New Thought Center that they can find in the entire world. So it makes no difference where you are. You can find the one that's closest to you. And in doing so, there will be a contact information, address, or whatever. You can reach out to those people, and if it's close enough, maybe it's a place that you can go and attend to. And you can always reach me at maderasac@gmail.com. If you have questions, you can go to my website, the spiritualawarenesscenter.com. You can get in touch with me. And if you'd like to support the program, you can go there and you'll find a contribution link. We love to have you contact us. We love to have your feedback, and we love to have your support as we continue to move forward with this ministry. I thank you for being with us today. Gosh, what a great day it is. And as you prepare to go through your week, let me send you off with, as I always do, this, because this is it, my friends. The light of God surrounds you, and the love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you, and the presence of God watches over you. Because truly, no matter where you are, God is, and God is there. All is well. There's no place, no space where God is not. Have a great week. Blessings, and I'll see you again when we come back.
This segment brought to you by Crown Realty in Tulare. Let the professionals at Crown Realty Property Management take care of your rental properties. Visit TulareCrown.com.
We are conveniently located across from Bullard High School on North Palm Avenue in Fig Garden. Morales Wellness Dental offers quality-oriented family dental care and service in a personalized and comfortable manner. As you enter our office, you'll always be greeted by our warm, caring dental team and will be invited to relax in our finely appointed lobby. We have 7 patient treatment suites that feature monitors for your in-op entertainment and diagnostic review.
CentralValleyTalk.com